But this is what I find so funny. My parents knew that we liked Monty Python and stuff as kids, so our parents got us this film, and we used to sit and watch it like once a week.
Right.
And I look back at it like one of the opening scenes in his wife comes to visit him in prison. She goes, "Do you remember the last time we were having a kiss and a cuddle?" And he goes, "When I was raping you." And she goes, "Well, you could put it that way, right?" He goes, "I'm sure I killed the last person I raped." And then she goes, "The afterplay was a bit rough."
Wow.
And it's PG.
Wow.
And constant rape jokes. You've never seen any. I'm telling you, I'm not underestimating this. Constant rape jokes.
Yellowbeard.
Yeah.
I'll look it up. Do you get any shit for what you say on stage?
Of course, everyone does.
Like after the show, people come up?
Yeah, not so much anymore. I did in the early days, but now people who come to see me for the most part know who I am, or have seen something on YouTube or something. And so you don't get that. But it's harder when you're starting out.
I gotta imagine.
When you're a dirty comic and you're sandwiched in the middle of a guitar act and an impersonator.
Right.
And everyone's going for the guitar act, and then you come off and just go, "I fucking rape some bird," or do some mildly racist material about, all of a sudden people just go, "Why is he saying this?"
Right.
Have you ever been on stage and said something offensive and the audience haven't laughed, and then it even makes it offensive for you? Like you're sitting there going, "Why would I say that?"
Yeah.
It's a horrible thing to say.
Yeah. Did you feel like you hold back sometimes then? Because of those situations.
Yeah, I had a lot more cutesy material back then.
Oh, really?
I had enough stuff that I could, if that joke didn't work, I could do a cute joke there.
Right. But you always kind of wanted to go to that.
Well, it was just a gradual evolution. You tell the jokes that you think are funny. And so there was a lot of jokes that I wasn't saying because I thought the audience would be upset that I found funny. But see, the thing is, me personally, this is just how I've always been, joking around with my friends and everything. But if I had my way, I'd like to be like a silly comic. I'd like to be one, but I'm just not a silly guy.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like as I said, I grew up watching Monty Python. That's what I was really into.
Right.
And I'd love to be one of those guys, like a John Cleese type bloke. But
it's not. Yeah.
It's not in me.
Yeah, because I remember you saying on stage the other night how if you were cleaner, you'd have a bigger audience.
Yeah.
But you can't do that.
Yeah, it's just you can't. I don't write a good clean. And I'm not anti-clean comedy either.
Right.
I like Brian Regan's one of my favourite comics.
Right.
And he's clean as clean.
Right.
And Seinfeld was clean. I love Seinfeld, but it's I don't know.
You can't be what you're not.
You can't be what you're not, yeah. And then it always feels forced. And the fact is, I write good, dirty jokes as well. And a lot of people can't write good, dirty jokes. A lot of people... One of my skills, I believe, is I can say offensive things, and there's something about me that I get away with it.
Yeah, you got this, I don't know, you're lovable, or, it's just like you did that joke about when my mom raised me on good manners. It's like you're like that. I don't know. You do get away with it. I don't know what the fuck it is.
So the thing is, if I've got that skill, sometimes I watch offensive comics or young lads who are trying to be offensive.
Right.
And they're saying things that are half as bad as me, but even I'm sitting in the audience going, "Oh, don't say that."
Yeah, it's more shock too.
Yeah,
maybe.
if they don't have a level of charm to them, so that's the skill I've got. I might as well use it.
The accent's got to help too.
Yeah, but I do all right in Australia as well. I sometimes get I get a little bit of grief now from Australia because my accent's sort of 50% British, and so I get a little bit of like I'm a fraud type of internet type of talk where because I'm not famous in Australia. I go back there once a year and do some small theatre gigs or small club gigs, and just try to dip my toe in there. But I more go back to visit my mum.
Right.
And the will for me to take over Australia is not as big as you'd think. The only reason I want to do well in Australia is so family members and guys I went to school with would be impressed.
Right.
Yeah.
But
you outgrow that.
Yeah.
In your early 20s, that means a lot to you. I'm going to show everyone.
Right.
And then you can get tired of proving people wrong. You just whatever.
Just want to just make my money.
Yeah, I just want to make my money, have a couple of hobbies.
Yeah.
And then do my jokes and try to be a good comic and try to make the career go bigger and all that type of stuff. But I was so career orientated in my mid-20s that now I'm really considering taking it all back a little bit and just enjoying life a bit more.
Yeah, because you're on the road all the fucking time, right?
Yeah, I'm going to cut my workload down by about a quarter next year.
Okay.
You know, have more time off because I'm a 48, 50 week guy.
That's insane.
Stuff different, you know. Different city each time.
You were telling me this the other day that you never write anything down.
Yeah, and I probably should. I think people think when I say that I'm bragging, but I just don't have the order, I would never read it. I'm too lazy to read it.
But you just think of the story.
I think of the story. The problem that I have is all my stories are true and legit and everything, but occasionally, like, I'll have, like, if you don't write it down, you can nick another comic's line or something. So you've got to be very mindful of that, of those things seeping in.
Right.
Because if you don't write it down. So I'm very conscious now of, like, have you ever heard this joke before? I try to do that as much as possible. And then how I sort of write material is I'll be on radio or start doing something like this and I'll tell a funny story and then I'll think, all right, I'll give that a go on stage. You
just remember how you said it right there.
Well, I don't think I ever tell a joke exactly the same way each time. I always vary little bits up and here and there. There's some jokes that I do, of course. Right. But I just try to remember the gist of it.
That's fucking crazy, dude. I don't know how you can remember an hour and 20 minutes like that.
Oh, I can remember more than that.
Yeah.
I've got about, I reckon, I know for a fact I've written at least 6 hours of stand-up.
Wow. And nothing's in paper.
And nothing's on paper. No, there's no recordings. There's recordings of some of it on DVD.
Right.
There's at least 2.5 hours of different material on DVD. But out of that 6 hours, I could get on stage and I reckon I could do 2.5 to 3 of it.
Wow.
Like right away.
Without a problem.
But there's some of it that's lost forever.
Right.
Oh, I know I've done it because I did a different Edinburgh show. There's some of it that's because I've never written it down.
Or recorded it.
It no longer exists.
Wow.
Because I've forgotten it completely.
Wow. And you never record yourself on stage with a little thing?
No.
Wow.
No, what am I going to do with that?
am
I going to listen to it or when I get home? You know, I hate the sound of my own voice. Like, I don't listen to the podcasts or anything, you know.
Right. I was going to say so your specials now, you got I Swear to God, that's the HBO one.
Yeah.
And you got coming out Alcoholocaust.
Yeah.
That comes out what? Showtime?
Yeah, but we don't have an exact date yet, so
okay.
I'm not going to tell you exact date. I've got a vague idea, but I'd rather not say until
all right, but that comes out in the States.
Yeah.
You were just saying to me about I Swear to God. It was just funny, the different levels, how you did the HBO special last year in New York. You were at the...
It was 2009 I recorded that, yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
and then, my bad. And then they put you up at the nice suite in the W.
Yeah.
You do the shoot. Then you go out to eat. Then you went and got drunk. And you stopped by. You just broke up with a girl?
Yeah. I think I was newly single around then.
Yeah, and so then you're kind of sad.
I was kind of sad. And I'd had like the pinnacle of my career. And they wouldn't let me party with anyone. I had to go out to dinner with all the directors and everything. And so and in the end I went out drinking with like one of the camera guys. And then I got leathered with him, and then he said, "You got to go back to your hotel, Jim." Like, and I was like, "All right." And I stumbled back to the hotel, and I went past McDonald's. Now in Australia and Britain, they sell 20 pieces of nuggets in one box, like a family-sized portion of nuggets. And I thought I didn't want 6, I didn't want 9, I wanted 20 nuggets. I wasn't going to eat anything else, and I have like 10 different dipping sauces. And the Indian bloke didn't know that. I didn't know that he didn't understand that. I didn't know there was no 20-piece nuggets.
Right.
He just thought, he goes, "You want 20 packets?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And he gave me 23-piece nuggets. So I had 60 nuggets. 60 nuggets, all in those little bags. And then it came to like a really exorbitant price for what I remember 20 nuggets costing. But I was like, fucking America. And I carried this big bag of nuggets and eating along the road with like dipping sauce in this big bag. And I woke up in the nicest hotel room in the world with fucking about 40 nuggets on the bed with me. Literally just in the bed, nuggets.
I just love that because the top. You hit this high point in your career. You just did an HBO special, and then you're walking down the street drunk with a bag of nuggets.
Yeah, bag of nuggets. I couldn't have been at a lower point.
It's such a highs and lows of this, man.
And the thing was, I'd already gone out to dinner. I just had to do something that was still open and interact with people, you know.
Right. All right, Jim Jefferies, thanks for giving me the time to do this. And what do you got coming up? You got Chicago this week.
Chicago Comedy Festival, and then I don't know what I've got after that. I never looked that far forward.
Look it up, JimJefferies.com. Thank you very much for listening, everyone. Ciao.
Is that right?
That was perfect. Thanks, buddy.